as I promised, I wanted to talk about this morning about the peace accord that was signed in Abuja between Governor Simi Fubara and the Minister of Federal Capital Territory Abuja Nyesom Wike, which was brokered by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You remember that in a previous stream, I told you people that accord was against the interest of the Ijaw Nation, was against the interest of Fubara, was against the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I did say that accord would be rejected by the Ijaw Nation, because I did point out that the Ijaw Nation has never ruled Rivers State since 1999, and that this is the first time that the Ijaw Nation is having somebody of their own in the presidency, in the governorship position of Rivers State. And I did tell you that the Ijaw Nation will not accept that the hands of their son, who is now the governor of Rivers State, will be tied by that resolution that was reached in Abuja, which I describe as an unjust resolution. And if you remember, I did say that the Ijaw Nation will reject it, and the Ijaw Nation has rejected it. And that rejection came in the form of a press conference that was addressed by Chief Edwin Clarke, who is the leader of the Ijaw Nation in Nigeria today. Now we're going to look at what he said and look at the reason why look at what he said. Then I will now tell you why I strongly believe that they are right in their position. Okay, and you can see that they have told Fubara that he has to be ready to fight. If he doesn't have the guts to fight, that he should resign, because they consider the resolution insulting. But let us first of all look at the press conference that was addressed by Chief Edwin Clarke on Monday, 19th December 2023. And let me begin from, let me read it out for you in case you have not been able to see listen to the whole press conference. The title of the press conference is a press conference held on the imposed settlement of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the Rivers State crisis by Chief Dr. Edwin Clark, 19th December 2023. Clark started by saying, firstly, I want to commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for heeding the various calls, including our own, to mediate in the ongoing crisis rocking Rivers State by calling Barrister Nyesom Wike to order so as to restore peace and tranquility in the state and avert any problem similar to that which occurred in 2013 when Barrister Wike was Minister of State Education. However, the terms of settlement as contained in the covenant issued at the end of the reconciliatory meeting is what is baffling, appalling, and unacceptable to the people, especially the Ijaw Nation, especially the Ijaw ethnic nationality. From the terms of the settlement, it is obvious that President Tinubu sees his role as a mediator to once again show gratitude to the current Minister of the Federal Capital Territory Abuja for delivering in quotes Rivers State to him during the past presidential elections, having first gratified him by making him the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. First observation: the composition of the attendees of the meeting was one-sided in favor of Nyesom Wike, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Because while Martins Amehule, the former speaker, because he has automatically lost his seat the very moment he decamped to another political party, was present at the meeting. It would have only been equitable and expedient for Edison Ehie, the Speaker, as affirmed by constitutional provisions and by the granting of the court, to be in the meeting if there were sincerity of purpose. The 8 resolutions reached are the most unconstitutional, absurd, and obnoxious resolutions at settling feuding parties that I have ever witnessed in my life. As a matter of fact, some medias captured it very well when they describe it as directives. And for the fact that such thing was done at the villa, the seat of the federal government of Nigeria, is sacrilegious, because any place, housing, or is a custodian of symbol authority ought to be sacred. It is obvious that Governor Simi Fubara was ambushed and intimidated into submission. President Tinubu should know that with all the powers he possesses, he cannot override the Constitution. From all that transpired at the meeting, the laws of the land have not been obeyed. President Tinubu simply sat over a meeting where the Constitution, which is the fulcrum of his office as president and which he swore to uphold and abide by, was truncated and desecrated. 27 or so members, because the figure is not certain, of the Rivers State House of Assembly left the political party on which platform they were elected. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is very clear that Section 109 is quite clear on that, and it says, a member of a House of Assembly shall vacate his seat in the House if, being a person whose election to the House of Assembly was sponsored by a political party, he becomes a member of another political party before the expiration of the period for which that House was elected, provided that his membership of the latter political party is not as a result of a division in the political party of which he was previously a member, or of a merger of 2 or more political parties or factions, by one of which he was previously sponsored. The Speaker of the House of Assembly shall give effect to subsection 1 of this section, so, however, that the Speaker or a member shall first present evidence satisfactory to the House that any of the provisions of that subsection has become applicable in the respect of the member. Nyesom Wike is quite abreast of these constitutional provisions. He shouted his voice hoarse, calling for the removal of persons like David Umahi as governor of Ebonyi State, Ben Ayede as governor of Cross River State, and Bello Matawale as governor of Zamfara State when they decamped from the PDP, on which platform they were elected into office, to the APC, citing the above constitutional provisions. What has changed? A court of competent jurisdiction has pronounced Edison Ehie as the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. That ruling has not been vacated, and based on that, he exercised the duties conferred on him by Section 109, subsection 2, as quoted above, when the 27 or so members openly defected to the APC, waving the flags of the party and singing President Tinubu's campaign songs from the People's Democratic Party. As of today, and going by the Constitution, the Rivers State House of Assembly has 4 members who are recognized by the laws of the land. Therefore, on what premise is Mr. President saying that the 27 campaign members should go back to the House? Under what political party? The PDP or the APC? The directives of Mr. President is absurd and cannot hold water. Mr. President should be aware that Simi Fubara today is the elected governor of Rivers State. In the same manner, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the elected president of the country. And as a governor, Mr. Fubara possesses all the powers as conferred on him by the Constitution. 2. resubmission of the names of commissioners who have resigned their appointments. Another directive of Mr. President that the names of the commissioners who were nominated by Nyesom Wike and who resigned on their own volition and who have lost their trust in Governor Fubara should be represented to the Rivers State House of Assembly for clearance to become commissioners again. It's ridiculous. Who is nominating them to become commissioners again? Is it Mr. President? Was Mr. President thinking that he was mediating in a matter between Nyesom Wike and employees in Nyesom Wike's private company? Is it what Nyesom Wike means when he talks about structure, referring to Rivers State as his personal holdings or enterprise? 3. Representation of a budget already signed and presented it and passed into law. Another unthinkable directive of Mr. President is that a budget which has been passed into law should be represented. It is absolutely ridiculous and unconstitutional. By President Tinubu's actions and directives, he has overruled the constitution of the country. He has shaken the foundation of the country's democracy. People lost their lives fighting for democracy in this country. Today, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has made of no effect the blood of the freedom fighters shed to salvage this country. He has thrown the country's democracy 50 years backward. This is unacceptable. Rather than building a strong system and society, we are building strong, invidious characters with our national patrimony through corruption and avarice. By the actions of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he has really shown his dislike and disdain for the Ijaw people and confirms his hatred for them. And as the leader of the Ijaws, we will resist it. Nyesom Wike is not an emperor. For the 8 years he was in power as governor of Rivers State, he ruled with an iron fist. As governor, he will not accept such treatment from anyone, as he is spearheading to be meted out. As he is spearheading to be meted out to the current governor of Rivers State, Simi Fubara. Barrister Wike destroyed his opponents' houses and even threatened to kill them, as cried out by Senator Lee Maeba from Ogoni and Dr. Abiye Sekebo from Okrika. It is still fresh in our memory how Nyesom Wike, as Minister of State Education, used federal might to fight the then governor of Rivers State, Chief Edwin Clarke, that almost led to the grinding to a halt of governance in Rivers State. When the judiciary was closed down and the House of Assembly was shut down by the then governor, Chief Edwin Clarke, President Jonathan did not interfere in his action, because if he did, he will definitely be breaching Section 5, Subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which President Tinubu has deliberately breached despite his oath of office to uphold and promote the Constitution. Nyesom Wike is minister now, and again he is using the federal government to truncate the wishes of the people of Rivers State. The rule of law in the country is completely truncated by President Tinubu. While it will be noted that presently the National Assembly is discussing on the bill of local government autonomy, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is directing Governor Fubara to put into effect a bill passed by people who are no longer lawmakers. The members of the House of Assembly choosing where they will sit to carry out their legislative duties. That's number 4 of the position of Edwin Clark. The members of the House of Assembly choosing where they will sit to carry out their legislative duties. It is the duty of the executive to provide legislative accommodation for the houses of assembly, including the National Assembly, and not the members of the House of Assembly to choose a place to meet. It is in this vein that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in presenting his budget to the National Assembly, recognized the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike as the landlord, because he is of the executive arm of government. It It is the FCT that owns the National Assembly complex and maintains it. It is therefore ridiculous and unconstitutional for Tinubu to direct in his settlement that the members of the Rivers State House of Assembly shall meet wherever they want to meet. We will resist such draconic, arbitrary, and unconstitutional action by Mr. President and his customer, Nyesom Wike. We will go to court to challenge this so-called one-sided and oppressive action of Mr. President. On his part, the Executive Governor of Rivers State, Simi Fubara, who has the mandate of the people of Rivers State to govern them for the next 4 years, has shown feebleness of character by agreeing and appending his signature on a document containing such absurdity. He has betrayed the people who elected him as governor and those who stood behind him in this cause. Mr. Fubara has shown naivety in his actions by signing that document. He has signed his death warrant, believing that Mr. President will show him some sort of favors. Mr. Fubara's mandate is constitutional, and so he cannot surrender it in the face of intimidation from any quarter. And it is quite unfortunate. Did he go to that meeting to speak and justify his actions, or he went there to take directives from an equally elected president? As governor of a state and as the chief security officer of the state, he has shown tremendous lack of courage and competence. It will be in his best interest to resign if he cannot govern the state as constitutionally provided, or he may as well decamp and join APC and be taking directives from Nyesom Wike and President Tinubu on the governance and leadership of the state. Like I stated earlier, these obnoxious directives will not stand. The people of Rivers State, particularly the Ijaws, who are in the majority and who have about 11 local government areas out of the 23 local government areas in the state, will resist it. Because by it, President Tinubu has delivered Rivers State to Nyesom Wike as a reward for delivering, in quote, the state to him. I call on the people of Rivers State, and indeed all well-meaning Nigerians, to stand up against this, using all constitutional and legal means, because we do not know the next state in the country that will be affected or born to another political customer by President Tinubu as political patronage. It is absurd, it is draconian, it is transactional, it is a rape of our democracy. The people of Rivers State should remember that it was the same lopsided solution directive that President Tinubu gave to the people of Ondo State, but they resisted and rejected it. Today, the needful has been done in that state. Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not allow himself to be treated the way he oversaw Mr. Fubara being treated. We all can recall what happened when he governed Lagos State for 8 years, and when he successfully resisted President Olusegun Obasanjo's dictatorial tendencies when he tried to prevent him from creating more local government areas in Rivers State. Nigerians hailed Bola Ahmed Tinubu for standing up to the occasion. That made him to be the undisputed leader of Lagos State. But today he's overseeing such draconian and authoritarian action as president of the country, giving directives to a governor to take action on things obviously not in tandem with the nation's constitution. I, Senator Edwin Clarke, as the leader of the Ijaw Nation and as the chairman of the board of trustees of the Ijaw National Congress, decided to hold this emergency press conference with the full authority of my people. We are prepared to face any consequences that may result in the political crisis in Rivers State. We will resist any attempt, subtle, subterranean, overt, to make an elected Ijaw son, Simi Fubara, the governor of Rivers State, a servant, a stooge to Nyesom Wike, who had boasted that any attempt by the governor to touch his so-called Wike structure with the connivance and support of Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be resisted by us. Like I said, we will go to court to resist this oppressive action using all available constitutional and legal means. It is on this note that I wish to appeal to the youths who are aggrieved to remain mankind as we will use legal means to dethrone this hydra-headed monster called oppression. Enough is enough. Signed, Chief Dr. Edwin Clarke, OFR-CON. Now, this is Edwin Clark stating the position of the Ijaw Nation. And you do remember, I said it, that there is no way the people of the Ijaw Nation will accept the unjust peace that Tinubu made Fubara to sign in Abuja. And I said it, in fact, almost all the things that Edwin Clark said here, you know that I've said it. If you are you're a follower of this channel, you are a subscriber to this channel, you know, as everything that Edwin Clark said in this press conference, I had said it earlier. Immediately that resolution, 8-point resolution came out, I said, no, this thing is against the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's against the Ijaw Nation, and that the Ijaw Nation will not take it, and that these things were done against Fubara, that they are not going to take it, and they are not supposed to take it. Look at how Bola Ahmed Tinubu was there and signed off that Fubara cannot even sack his commissioners, because they were directing Fubara to take these disobedient, disloyal commissioners who resign because they are more loyal. They are more loyal to Nyesom Wike than to the people of Rivers State, than to the governor himself, because it was the people of Rivers State that elected Fubara. These guys deliberately humiliated their governor, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu is saying they should take them back. He should take them back with no exemption. Should take them back. Meanwhile, Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself has warned his own ministers that anybody that didn't perform will be sacked. The way they directed Fubara, it means that Fubara cannot even sack his commissioners without taking directive from Abuja. Where is that done? Which constitution was that written? That the governor of a state elected by the people, sharing the same executive offices, executive power like Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president, will have to take directive from a minister in Abuja when to sack his commissioners and when not to sack them. Where is that done? I know that it will incense the Ijaw Nation, and they are right to be incensed, and you can see their reaction. They are mad about the whole thing, and every right thinking Nigerian should be mad about it. We're talking about the democracy of our country. We're talking about the due process in our country. We're talking about our democracy. Like Edwin Clark pointed out, this democracy, a lot of people died for it. A lot of people shed their blood for it. It wasn't easy to take away the military out of the scene in Nigeria. People paid a price for it. And now you just stand by and allow them to trample on the right of a governor to function in his office. You are telling him he has to take the commissioners. He can't sack them. That's what Edwin Clark is saying. And they have ethnicized the whole thing now. And you can't blame the Ijaw Nation. You cannot blame them. For the past 24 years, people of Ikwere extraction have been running the states. Nobody tied the hands of Dr. Peter Odele as governor of Rivers State for 8 years. Nobody tied his hand with this kind of resolution they signed in Abuja. Nobody tied his hand. In fact, Dr. Odele was probably the most powerful governor of the class of 1999 to 2007. He was perhaps the most powerful governor. Because to the level that he was touted as a successor to President Bola Ahmed, that was how prominent he was, both in the PDP and how he held Rivers State in a stranglehold. Now, after him, another Igbo person, Chibika Amechi, became the governor of the state for 8 years. And nobody tied his hand. Like Edwin Clark pointed out in 2013, pointed out several things that happened. How the Amechi locked the judiciary. Judiciary was not functioning because of fights that was also instigated from Abuja, because Nyesom Wike was fighting to dethrone him. But nobody tied the hands of Amechi. Amechi was able to exercise the authorities of his office for 8 years. And Nyesom Wike also, an important person, was able to do another 8 years. Nobody tied his hand. He was able to do as he liked, and was able to spread himself to prominence in national politics, just like other governors before him in Rivers State. And I don't blame him for that, because that was how Dr. Odele spent himself to prominence in Nigerian politics, because Rivers State has a lot of money, and became somebody of a sort of authority that Obasanjo even touted him as a successor. The same thing happened with Amechi. Nobody tied Amechi's hand. And Amechi was able to use the resources of Rivers State to help make Buhari the president of Nigeria. And we saw how Nyesom Wike, using the same, nobody tied his hand, and he was able to challenge for the presidency of PDP. He lost it, he got angry, and he undermined his party and began to work for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And today, PDP is almost prostrate, it's almost dead. I did a video before where I said that PDP is dead in Nigeria. Anybody thinking of PDP as an alternative is just living in fool's paradise. PDP is dead and it's gone. And what is coming out from this so-called resolution that they did in Abuja has confirmed that PDP is dead. Ordinarily, Nyesom Wike and Fubara, they are PDP members. This is supposed to be an internal affairs of the PDP that's supposed to settle. Instead, they have to run to Abuja to an APC president to help them settle it. And they settled it in favor of Nyesom Wike at the expense of Fubara, the Ijaw Nation, and the people of Rivers State. That's why there are a lot of resistance. And don't forget, the Ijaw Nation are not the only people rejecting this resolution. Former Governor Ada George is leading a group, Rivers State elders. In the statement they issued yesterday, they also rejected this resolution that Bola Ahmed Tinubu reached or arranged in Abuja. So the Rivers State elders and the Ijaw Nation have rejected the resolution. They say it cannot stand. They say it is unconstitutional. And they have made their position very clear. So if all these people have rejected it, so who is going to implement it? Is Fubara, who left the villa with his tails between his legs, returning back to Port Harcourt to come and implement what his people have already told him is unconstitutional, that they cannot stand, that the people cannot take that kind of thing. And like Edwin Clark pointed out, which I also did earlier on before his press conference, that what they told Fubara to take, Bola Ahmed Tinubu as governor will not take it. Nyesom Wike as governor will not take it. Now the people of Rivers State in general have rejected it. They have rejected it. In fact, in the case of Fubara, the Ijaw Nation have told him if he doesn't have guts to fight, they should resign. Because to be a governor of a state is not a tea party. To represent a nation like the Ijaw Nation is not a small thing, responsibility. The reason why the whole of the Ijaw Nation, Edwin Clark is from Delta State. Why is he so concerned? Because this is a thing that concerns their own ethnic nationality. that their rights have been trampled upon. That's why Edwin Clark said that they are ready to fight. Even if they die in the process, they are ready. These are people talking out of conviction, out of apparent marginalization. And so the president have to listen to them. They have to cancel that resolution. They have to cancel it. Of course, that resolution, even without being cancelled, is null and void, because it is not above the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Like Edwin Clark pointed out, Fubara was sworn in and he is operating under the Constitution. It is the same Constitution that Tinubu is operating under. So why should Fubara hands be tied in the same Constitution from operating under the same Constitution, while that of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and other governors in Nigeria, they're able to operate effectively? And you say you are signing a peace accord. I said it somewhere else, that what they sign is just what you have in Rivers State is a piece of the graveyard. That's not real peace. That is not a sustainable peace. That is wrong. That is condemnable. And the Ijaw Nation has condemned it. And you cannot fault them. Go through their statements one by one. There is nowhere you can fault Edwin Clark. Edwin Clark has shown leadership. Edwin Clark has shown that the Ijaw Nation does not condone injustice, and they are not ready to take it. They are going to fight on. They are going to the courts. Of course, we know that the Nigerian judiciary is nothing to write home about now. Nigerian judiciary almost has reached to the level where it has almost appeared to have been pocketed by some sections of the country. You heard Senator Dino Bela saying the other day that he will not go to court to challenge the absurdities of the election that held in Kogi State, because the court in Nigeria has become a department of the ruling All Progressive Congress. Can you really fault it? There are so many instances that made people have lost confidence. But Edwin Clark, at least they can go to court. At least let them go to court. Let them go to court, even though the court can no longer give justice in Nigeria. At least let them go to court. And they are going there because they are not going to take it. They are not going to take it. They are not going to hand over their state. They are not going to hand over their state to Nyesom Wike. The Constitution is very clear on the conditionalities for anybody to be impeached. You have to commit gross misconduct. Up to today, Nyesom Wike and his lawmakers, they didn't tell Nigerians the misconduct, the gross misconduct that was committed by Simi Fubara. All they want is to impeach him without telling Nigerians the reason. And of course, we know the reason. It's about the structure. And you know what the structure means to these people. And you ask yourself, what are you doing with structure? 3 years to the election. That shows you that it's not just about the structure. It's about the resources. Thank you for being part of this life, and God bless you. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.